Hi, this is Multi-Topic Talk. Welcome to this new video about the Halo TV show. You know, the show that a lot of people dislike for good reason. So, the title of this video is Everything Wrong About the Halo TV Show. And this is part 1. Because so far, as I am recording part 1, 3 episodes aired. So we got 3 episodes, and I can tell I dislike it so far. It's really bad. And if you haven't watched any of my reviews, I will tell you this. I used to be a Halo fan before 343 Industries took over. I liked a lot Halo 1, Halo 2, not that much, but story-wise it was good. Halo 3 is a masterpiece for me. Halo Reach was great. But then we got Halo 4. Halo 4 was fine. It was fine. But I can tell 343 Industries changed a lot of things, and I'm not on board with some of the changes. Halo 5 came out, I played it, and I was disappointed. I was like, oh, really? The story was good, but the gameplay, the missions, the game itself was bad. But I did like the story and the lore. I did not touch Infinite. I don't want to play this game. Infinite looked like trash. They sold an incomplete game. And that's it. Now, I say all of that to let you know I am not a normie that doesn't know about Halo. I'm not a normie that don't know Halo lore. Of course, I didn't play Halo Wars, but I know Halo Wars. Of course, I didn't read any novel, but I still know the lore based on the game. And I played many times Halo 3, Halo Reach. These were my favorite game in the series, and these two were among my favorite game I ever played. So, with that being said, if you are an Halo fan, and if you like the lore, you will hate the show. And in many article, the people making the Halo TV show said they didn't play the game, and you can tell it's no lie. They didn't lie on that. It's true. They never played any Halo game. They probably fired the only people that care about the lore of the games. That's what I heard. Now, with that out of the way, I came into the show open-minded. I really wanted to like the show. I really had no expectation from it because I knew a lot of things before coming into the show, but I was open-minded. I really wanted to like the show, and I was like, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, then it's no surprise. Now, this video is already 4 minutes in, and I haven't spoke yet about everything wrong in the show. We shall start very soon. Before I bring my points, I need to say this. There is a few things I do like about the show, and I will get rid of these things right now. I will let you know what I like so far with the 3 episodes we got, because there's a very small amount of things I enjoyed in the show, and I still want to share it with people. Yes, the show is trash, but there are still things I liked. So, the first thing I liked, the action scene, the action sequence in the first episode. It was gore, it was violent, people died all over the place. It was good, and the action felt like Halo. We could hear the sounds of the shield regenerating. We could see the Spartan killing some elite, and that was good. The sound effect, the action, fight choreography, I've seen much better, but I've seen worse as well, so the action itself was good. I enjoyed it. I won't lie. I thought, coming into episode 1, I would like the show based on the 21st minute of the first episode. But then everything fell apart after the 20-minute mark. We will go into this a bit later. Now, the second thing I like. Dr. As Isley, the blonde one. I don't know how to say her name. Sorry about that. The doctor that made the Spartan research and the one that traded the Spartan, basically, she is a good actress. She's interesting as a character. She's also very interesting. She's very likable and she's fine. I'm like, I want to get more of her, especially after episode 3. I'm like, she stands out in that mess. She's she's well portrayed. She's interesting. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, she is much more hot than in the video game. The video game, this is a old lady, and I could understand, but now they chose someone that looks more pretty, I guess. And I think it's only to go against Halo as a franchise, as an IP, because there are so much things they just ripped apart and destroyed. So I think they made Dr. Ailey more cute only to go against the game. This is what I believe happened. Now, the next point I liked. The suit of the Spartans. The suit of the Spartans are fine. They are not the best. No, they could be better. But they are fine. They look good. They look cool. And when they fight, it's nice. I like it. Master Chief really looked like Master Chief. He doesn't act like Master Chief, but he looks like Master Chief. So this is a nice cosplay. I'm on board. Now, the last thing I like so far. Cortana in the third episode. Now, I must tell you, in the third episode. Because in episode number 2, we had a proto Cortana, I could call her that way. We had like a start of Cortana. I don't know how we can call that. Basically, they took a bald girl and said it was Cortana. And at first, I was like, I hope they won't keep that Cortana around. That's not my Cortana. She's not blue. She doesn't have good look. She doesn't have airs. I wasn't on board. But in episode 3, they changed it, and I am very happy. Now she looks like Cortana. Now, does she act like Cortana? I'm not quite sure. It's a blur for me, Cortana. The only Cortana I got in mind right now is the one in Halo 5 and the one in Halo 4. In Halo 4, she did sacrifice herself. Well, that's what we believed. She really wanted to protect Chief, and she was part of Chief, and she wanted to protect Chief because Chief needed saving at some point in the game. So she was really like she was friend with Chief after all the adventures. After all they did together, she became friend with Chief. In Halo 5, she became a villain because she had like the sickness of Cortana like robots get after like 7 years. They become crazy and they do weird stuff. And because of that, she became a villain in Halo 5. That's the only Cortana I remember. And this is very funny because I played a lot of Halo 3 and I cannot really remember how she was in Halo 3. Sadly, I will replay the game soon. I'm telling you. Um, so Cortana in the games was amazing. I like Cortana a lot. And in episode 3 of Halo, we get proper Cortana. Blue looking, at good appearance, without using word YouTube may dislike. Short hair, but I'm kind of fine with it. She looks like Cortana, and she's very likable. I enjoyed Cortana a lot. She was the best part of episode 3. Only because of Cortana, I believe episode 3 was the best out of the first 3. And now you will tell me, oh, that means they improved. Not really, because it's still terrible. Episode 3, if you have seen my review, you may know I gave a rating of 4.5 out of 10. So it's still very bad, it's still terrible, but Cortana was interesting, and Cortana was the reason why I was more invested in episode 3. I liked her dynamic with Masterchief, and I can tell already where the story will go with these two. By the end of season 1, they will be best friends just like in the game. And it's a bit cliche, but I can expect it, and I won't be pissed off or mad because this will respect a bit more the lore, if we can call it that way, because Master Chief and Cortana in the games, they respect each other. And right now, Cortana doesn't really respect Master Chief, but Master Chief doesn't respect Cortana either. And Master Chief, it's just because he doesn't like the idea of someone babysitting him. And I could relate to that, I could understand. And Cortana, it's just because she's naive and she's like a newborn, she's like a child. She's very smart. She's an amazing and intelligent in itself. She can access to so many data, so many information. She is a big brain, but she's like a child. Um, so I do like Cortana a lot. Now, with the good things out of the way, let's go to what I disliked. Strap on, like, eat something, have a snack. It will be long, I think. I guess. Maybe. We will see. Issue number 1. Kwan, the main character of the show. You see her on the screen. Let's go over to what I dislike about her. Kwan is not a likable character. I cannot relate to her. I don't even understand her. I'm not on board with her. In episode 1, she was dragged around. She should have died with her village. That's what I believe. But hey, people making the Halo TV show want diverse cast. People making the Halo show want to showcase diversity instead of Master Chief. People making the show only care about their their own lore and their own character they made specially for the show. These people are evil. They don't want to give you a proper Halo TV show. They haven't even played the game. Now, Kwan in the first episode, she followed Masterchief after a whole village was destroyed and everyone died. Then she is brought to the ship, and then the very timid and scared person becomes some kind of crazy that says to the UNSC, "Look, I will be against you, separatists, insurrectionists." Now, people making the show are leftists. And leftists usually they hate the right, but they want everything to be like them. So at the end, they're a bit like what they hate. Now, I think they see themselves as Kwan and the whole system of the white supremacy or the white people in power are the UNSC, and this is why the UNSC is depicted as villain in this show. Yes, UNSC, the good guys in the game, well, it's relative. The only line of defense that humanity has in the games are villains in this show. Now, linked to the first issue, the Kwan issue, that silver timeline is a shield they use to defend their leftist propaganda, to defend their ideology, their politics. The silver timeline is only to say, look, it's not your Halo, so we can do whatever we want. You used NIP. You want the Halo people to be on board with it. But you hide yourself behind the silver timeline. It's wrong. It's like saying, look, I opened a McDonald's, but I'm vegan. Wow! So all the burger will be bound meat because I'm vegan. It's McDonald's, look, it's McDonald's. Do you see what I mean by there? Now, Kwan as a character is a character I dislike a lot. In episode 2, she is just eating up screen time. She's pointless. Remove her from episode 2. Episode 2 doesn't even happen because Master Chief need to save her from evil UNSC that want to kill her off. Because that's the thing. UNSC want to kill people off if they are not on board with them. It's not my Halo. It's Paramount Halo. The showrunner even left before season 1 aired, so he knew it was shit. Now, let's go a bit deeper with Kwan. In episode 2, she's just sitting there for exposition about Master Chief feeling, why did you save me? Because even the writer don't know what to do with Chief. They're like, okay, so he follows order because he killed Kwan's mother in the past, but he doesn't always follow the order because he helped his friend escape. He doesn't always follow the order because now he saved Kwan from bad people. He doesn't always follow the order because apparently he removes his implants, his control palette in his back in episode 3 because it's against protocols. But he goes back to the UNSC at the end of episode 2 because he feels like it's right. They don't know what to do with Master Chief. He's just a plot device. He's just thrown in the story somewhere to do something, and then they lift him up and they throw him somewhere else. This is trash. Now, Kwan in episode 3, she wants to leave the base where she is to meet her people. Did the writer forgot her people died in episode 1? But hey, maybe there are other camps in that planet. I don't know. To be honest, I don't care. I don't like Kwan. She's not relatable. She's not likable. Now, she wants to leave the station. Diver's friend of John, I don't know his name, but the former Spartan basically tell, no, you cannot leave. And the back and forth between the both of them for most of the episode, I was on board. I was like, oh, it's cool. The guy has some balls. He doesn't want her to leave because he keep his promises. He owes something to John, and he is willing to hold the part of the bargain. But then at the end of the episode, he is sold. Yeah! At the end of the episode, Kwan basically tells him, look, I have money if you bring me home. A lot of money. And then Diverson is like, oh, cool, I like money. I will bring you there. I will just leave you there, even if it's not safe. What kind of friend is that? For real. So Kwan, the annoying character, played a huge part in episode 3. She had like 3 scene, but they did took so much space in that episode. Take her part away, the episode is much better. But here again, maybe you like Kwan, and you have every right to like Kwan, but she's just an ideology against the system. People against the system. I don't like the system, but what can you do as one individual? You cannot do much. And this is the sad truth. So, the next issue, because now I mainly speak about the characters. The characters are my biggest issue with the Halo TV show. Characters are terrible. They are really bad. They are boring. They are not well written. You cannot relate to any of them. So, next issue. I will show you 2 things. The first one, you know it. It's Master Chief, guys. Nice cosplay, by the way. Now, I will show you something else linked to this. This is the guy underneath the mask. In Halo, Master Chief is a character. When you play Halo, you become Master Chief. That's why you never see his face in any of the game. The best thing you will see is maybe his eyes, but you will never see his face. It's part of the experience, the Halo experience, but hey! People making the show didn't play the game, so they don't care about the game. So they're like, let's give people what they never asked for. The face reveal. For stupid reason, in episode 1, Master Chief takes away his helmet. For stupid reason, Master Chief takes away his helmet again in episode 2. And then in episode 3, I don't remember him wearing his helmet anywhere in episode 3. Now, you'll tell me, oh, it's just the helmet. That may be true, but this is insulting more than 20 years of gaming. So, I still feel like it's wrong. I don't always say that on all reviews because I would only repeat myself because this is something that keeps coming back. I don't want to see Master Chief face. And now I'm scared that next time I will play Halo, I will have that actor face on my mind. This is as bad as that. Now, I will go further with the Master Chief issue. In the games, he doesn't speak. In the games, he is interesting. He is in control. He is a good character. His few lines in the games are important. And he is direct. He doesn't spend hours explaining stuff. He doesn't. That's not Master Chief. He doesn't speak about his feeling or emotion because it's Master Chief. And because, hey, they have palettes to suppress said emotions. Because of palettes, he doesn't go out of control with anger and rampage everything. He doesn't do that in the games. Master Chief is depicted as smart, dangerous, and very capable of doing stuff. So far in the show, that's not the vibe I'm getting. He speaks about his feelings, he doesn't know who he is, he doesn't even trust himself. What else? In episode 1 or 2, he has some anger issue. Look, you have a palette that should suppress your emotions. How come you can feel that anger? This show makes no sense. Master Chief speaks so much in this show. He's not likable either. He is not his own character. The writer doesn't even know what to do with him. They throw him away here and there, and they say, "Here, look, Master Chief is there." Why? So far, the best episode with Master Chief was episode number 3. Only because of Cortana. Cortana made that trash Master Chief a bit better. And now I will tell you something else about Master Chief. Well, the actor. Now, the actor says, he says a lot of things. He didn't play the game. And I'll try to find a tweet it did. I've seen that tweet somewhere. I'll try to find it. If I cannot find it, then I'm sorry. I cannot use that as tool. I found this statement. So, the first part is for the fun. The second part is for the people that are new to the series. And the last part is for people like me. For all the fans rooting against the home team who hated the show before they saw it and disagree with what we are doing, I respect your opinion and I love you too. Maybe I really don't know. Because the truth is, we love the same thing. This is a lie. But let's keep going. And I will keep working my butt off each and every day to make this show the best version of itself. Well, maybe he truly believes that, but it doesn't help the show. The show is trash. It's nothing against him. He doesn't even play the game. He never played the game. He don't care about the game. He's just there chilling and cosplaying as Halo Master Chief. He is not Master Chief. He was not written to be Master Chief. And he didn't even care about being Master Chief. So I said it's a lie because he says we love the same thing. No, we don't. I don't like your show and you like your show. You never played the game because you don't care about the game. I played the game and I liked the game. So we do not love the same thing. This is a lie. And now I really don't know where to find the article where he says he never played the game, but I can tell he never played it. Just by the way he acts as Master Chief, there's no way that guy has ever touched a Halo game. So, let's keep going about my rant about our second main character being Master Chief. In episode 1 or 2, Master Chief doesn't feel like a character, he is the plot device to drive the story around. In episode 3, I will admit it, he is a bit better and more interesting, he feels much more like a character. But despite what I just mentioned, he is not a likable character yet. He is just a cliche character. He is against the rule and he doesn't like babysitter and he doesn't like Cortana and he is more rebellious in some way. He's more of a rebel. He is more like a leftist. Right? It's not my Master Chief. I think I spoke enough. Nice suit, nice cosplay, but the character is wrong. It's not a Master Chief I know. It's not a Master Chief I'm interested to see growing and becoming more human. I'm not into that. That show is just not for me. Next issue. Makee, aka the Blessed One. Very funny. Very funny because this is all she's sold. Meet the Blessed One. Makee is another character I don't like. She is boring. She doesn't even make sense in the story. She should not exist. Now, before doing this video, I used to call her the Blessed One, right and left. You know why? I didn't even know her name, and I didn't even care about her name. She's a lame character. She is just that generic female villain that is on the Covenant side for the sake of it. Her whole existence is an insult to the Halo lore. And here's the why. Covenant, they hate humans. They want to eradicate them. They want to kill them all. In the first episode before the Makee scene, when Elite were in the camp, they killed everyone, even the kids. They were monsters, and I can feel it and understand why. But Makee is the blessed one. Now, as I mentioned in my intro, I don't know about the novel, I only know about the games. In the 5 games, Covenant ate humans. This is a fact. The only time we get Covenant working with humans are when there was some kind of civil war among the Covenant. The Separatists against Mercy, the Prophet, and Charity. I think it's Charity, the third one. I'm not quite sure. Now, The only moment where we had Covenant working with human, the Covenant were separatists, and they were not happy to work with human, but they did to kill Mercy. And the separatists in the games are seen as better Covenants. Mercy and all of his people are villains. They are wrong. And the separatists are more like anti-hero. They try their best to escape from Mercy power and influence. What I just mentioned is a big part of the plot in Halo 2 and Halo 3 when we got the Arbiter working with Master Chief. That was amazing. I liked it a lot. But you see, in the TV show, because of their silver timeline, they think they can do whatever they want and people won't criticize it. You are full of BS. Now, I will tell you this. Your shield doesn't work with me. I think if you use the Covenant, they should be the Covenant. This is more than an IP. This is Halo, a classic game. People praise the first 3 Halo. And a lot of people enjoyed Reach. Reach is not as praised as the first 3, and I don't understand why. I can see why, because now we can run, but more than this, Reach has a few issues here and there. But Reach was a really good game. People like the lore, people like the story, people like to play the games. And what do you do with this? Destroy the IP. Because leftists, this is all they can do. They don't know how to create movies. They don't. So, we will speak about that destroyed IP a bit more. Makee, the Blessed One. She was saved by the Covenant as shown in the 3rd episode. And she became some of the most powerful individual in the Covenant army, which makes no sense. She's human. Her whole existence as the Blessed One insults Mercy. Mercy and the other leaders of the Covenant in the games, they are like religious people. They lead the Covenant because they are religious people. They are evil ones, but they are religious people. And the Blessed One is another symbol. She goes against everything they could say or stand for. She's proved that human can be more than trash. In the game, for Covenant, human are trash. Now, Makee, because she got saved and because she witnessed her friend dying in episode 3, she ate the humans. Don't you see, don't you know Covenant are probably as bad as human? Because in the first episode they killed an entire village, including all kids. But hey, Makee, we need a badass female villain because we don't know the gender of the elites or the Covenant. I'm not surprised if they come up with, oh, they are a gender fluid or something. Makee is not likable. Like, she's just working for the Covenant because the Covenant saved her. Whatever. I don't care about what happens to her. She is a huge emphasis. She will probably lead some troops of the Covenant because it's cheaper to use someone. It's cheaper to use a human than using a Covenant or something. Covenant costs CGI. Human doesn't. So she's like your Dollar Store Covenant. Now speaking about Makee, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood, but when she attacked the UNSC ship in episode 3, I think she had parasites with her. And if it's the case, it makes no sense. Now, I hope I am wrong on that. I still believe it's parasites. And if they say otherwise, I don't know in the lore of Halo what the kind of tentacle were. Parasites is the only thing I have in mind. These are clearly not Forerunner. These are clearly not Covenant either, because I've never seen a Covenant rampant like that. So these are parasites. It's the only explanation to the whole existence of the creature that attacked the UNSC ship with Makee. Now, this leads me to believe they did something else wrong that goes against the lore. If it's truly the parasites. Parasites in the Halo lore, they ate humans, they ate Covenants. All they want is eat them, feed on them, control them, transform them into other beings and other creatures. Parasites do not pick any side. They kill Covenants and humans. They just don't care. They are here to do their parasite stuff. This is all they are in the games. Now, sometimes you will see them siding momentarily for a war, for example, for more epic stuff. You will see them on the human side or the Covenant side. But they are not the pets of anyone. They do whatever they want. And when they go pick a side, it's only to backstab them after that. It's not because they chose to help the Covenant. It's because they see the same goal, so they help each other out. But at the end, the last one standing will backstab the other one. This is how it goes with the parasites in the game. But hey, in the Halo TV show, they are just the pets of the Covenant. Right! Because you did not insulted enough Halo so far. Oh my. This is sad because I'm the only one so far in my review that spoke about the parasites. People probably don't even know the lore as well as me when they reviewed that shit show. I also got that friend. He is a huge Halo fan. Halo is one of his favorite franchises, I believe. And he fell asleep in the second half of the first episode. And I didn't even ask him if he watched the second or the third episode because I know the answer. Didn't bother watching. He's not into it. He's not interested. That should tell you a lot on the interest of some people toward this show. And I am not surprised. I cannot blame anybody. This show is an insult for the Halo lore. Next issue! Look at her! Admiral Margaret! Fun fact! I needed to take a look to Rotten Tomato. I needed to take a look to the cast of Halo to know her name. In my reviews, I usually call her Indian boss or Indian character or Indian something. Indian lady. Bad character. The only purpose of this character is to showcase diversity here again. And the second purpose is plot device to create some kind of Drama in UNSC. She doesn't like Ashley or Eiley, the blonde one. The one I cannot pronounce her name. She's against her because white are bad. Well, this is what I believe they want to say because they are leftists making the show. Now, that general is a butthole. I dislike this character for so many reasons. She's unlikable, she is stupid, she wants to manipulate people to take over power and to have more money, I guess. I don't know. She ate a Ashley, the one I cannot tell her name. Sorry, and this is a character I like, but anyway. And then villain Admiral something. She wanted to kill off Kwan in first episode because Kwan wasn't on board with them. Very rich character. It's not one-dimensional at all. It's a very complex character. And each time we have a board meeting, she's there and she's like, I hate everyone there, but hey, I have my seat there. I don't relate to her, I dislike her. I cannot wait for the episode where they will decide they have enough of her and one Covenant shows up and kill her off. Please do that. It would be a great favor. No more of her. She's boring. She's not a good character. Each time she's on screen, it's to criticize people and say, look, we can be ally and we can take down the white people because the white people are bad. Right? This is funny because if I do a few research, I can assume already a lot of leftists making this show are white people, so they just bash themselves because they like doing it and because this is some kind of illness in Hollywood today. Bash yourself, white privileged people. Next issue, Silver Team. They should play some kind of big role in the story because they are like the people where they are the people who will actually interact the most with Masterchief. The guy in the center is the one likable, and I say that, but he's not that complex, and he's not that high point in the series. He's just fine. He's the only one that doesn't hate Masterchief, and I like that. Is he more than one-dimensional? Of course he's not, because this show is made by stupid people. Now, let's pull up the picture again. The girl on the left. She hates Master Chief because Master Chief bad boy. The girl on the right. She's fake. She pretends to be on board with Master Chief when Master Chief is coming back from escaping UNSC, I guess. But then she spies on him, and I don't know what will happen with that plotline, but she will probably confront Master Chief in the next episode, and she will probably ask Master Chief, why did you remove your palette, your implant, to take away your emotions? I don't care about Silver Team. Like, the only moment where I am on board with them is when action happens. When they shoot Covenant, this is cool, I like it. But as characters, so far they are trash. They are as bad as any other character in this show. And I will say this, both female characters are even worse than the male one. This is very sad to say because Cortana and Dr. Ashley, Ali, Dr. Ali. They are both amazing female characters, in my own opinion. They are very interesting. And they are cool. They are entertaining. I wish all the other female characters in this show would be the same. Because the show would be better since probably 80% of the cast is female. I'm not joking. I will show you the cast right now. So, here's most of the cast. We got Masterchief, Cortana, Natasha. We got the black guy, Admiral Margaret, female Spartan that aids Masterchief, Miranda Keys, Kwan, Charlie, Danny. So you see, in this page, we don't have everyone, but there's like 3 white people, male, and the rest are all female or black people. Now, I will tell you this, and I realize it right now as I am seeing the pictures of most of the cast. Kwan looks cute! She's good looking. Makee is good looking. Natasha is good looking. They are all good looking. Tell me, show, why you need to make every female character ugly? They are good looking actresses. They go out of their way to make them ugly in the show. It's wrong. Don't do that. Being feminine, being attractive is not wrong. But since you take away all beauty of all female character, it's telling a lot on all you act and all you are toward female beauty. Now, I don't care about how a character looks if the character has a good personality. It's just like real life. Some great people are not good looking. But in your show, they are all looking like trash and they all act like trash. How can I invest my time? Next issue. Now, I know it's a picture of the Silver Team guy, but I don't know the name of the other black guy that quit the Spartan program in episode 2 and that babysit Kwan in episode 3. I don't know his name, so I cannot find picture of him, so I will just show that picture there. Anyway, like, they're both Spartan, I guess. So, yeah, here's the next issue. It's wrong. You know why? That character started off amazing in episode 3, and they were able to destroy him by the end of the 3rd episode. It took them like maybe 10 minutes of screen time to ruin the character because he is male. Because male are beta in this show, because male are villains, because leftists hate male people, so they make them dumb, they make them beta. Now, I liked him when he was saying, "No, Kwan, you shall stay here because I told Master Chief you would be safe. I told Master Chief I would protect you." But Kwan, I am Kwan and I want to leave because Kwan is not a likable character. I am Kwan and I shall say I leave. Former Spartan tells her, "No, you cannot leave." Then when she tried to leave on her own, he's like, "Can kill you, you know? Your whole thing was to protect her and then you threaten her." And then later in the same episode, Kwan is saying, "Look, I have money. If you bring me on my own planet, I can give you money." the guys say, "Oh, cool, I like money. I will go with you." I'm gonna smash my screen! He was such a great character, but it took them 10 minutes to tear him apart and make him look stupid and dumb. These people, man, they don't know how to deal with a show. They don't know how to make a good show. Next issue, Dr. Miranda Keys. I will tell you this. On the first episode, I thought she was very good looking despite them trying to make her ugly. She's much more pretty on pictures where she has longer hairs, but that's just my take on it. Um, no, my issue is not her beauty or something, it's her character, but I will go deeper into that later on. I will just let you know, like, the good looking female character are like Cortana, Dr. Ashley, and this one. These are like the most good looking character, and this is sad because they want to destroy beauty in female characters. Anyway, um, let's speak about what I dislike about that character. She is boring, the character is probably a teenager or a young adult as depicted. She's not experienced, and I cannot relate to her. In the first episode, she is shocked that the UNSC plan on killing Kwan. It's human, it's normal to react like that. But yet, she doesn't do anything to stop that. She disagrees, but she will still take part of that. In the second episode, I barely remember what she did. In the third episode, she has a meeting with Admiral Margaret because they will like do some sketchy stuff to take out Dr. Ashley. Dr. Halsey. Dr. Halsey! They really dislike her because, hey, she's taking the fundings. Oh my, this show. I don't care about that character. If she can get killed off in episode 4, I will be happy. Less boring character on screen. Think I spoke enough about the characters. Nobody is likable. Most characters are terrible, actually. They are annoying. I cannot stand them. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you have watched, if you have seen all of my reviews I did so far, you will see more issues. If you look around on YouTube, you will see even more issues. You will understand why people don't like this show. And some people are not even Halo fan and they don't like the show. So, the story is my next bullet point. It doesn't feel like Halo, it's just a cosplay. They just try to do the aesthetic of it, but it doesn't look like Halo. It's not my Halo. It's just a sci-fi show with people wearing cosplay of Halo characters. Now, the story pacing is terrible. Episode 2 lasted for almost an hour, and in 30 minutes I was able to break down all plots and the entire episode. In episode 3, I did the same. For a 54-minute episode, I was able to break down the plots and what's going on in the show in 20 minutes. Now, you will tell me it's a review, it's normal. Yes and no. Yes, it's normal that a review of an episode is always shorter, but it's not normal in this specific case. because all of the episodes so far are hollowed. They are empty. They are just filling screen time to fill screen time. The pacing is terrible. I don't say it often in the review, but I think I should speak about pacing in the future. There was a whole scene where they do chirurgical, like they do surgery on Cortana and Masterchief to implant Cortana and Masterchief. That took forever. That took like 5 minutes. And they did so much. And I wasn't even watching because I find disgusting all the needle stuff. And I don't need to see that. I mean, I don't. Maybe some people enjoy that kind of stuff. I know I don't. So they wasted like 5 minutes, only 54 episodes speaking about like how to implant Cortana. I didn't mention that in my review because I find that irrelevant, and I can understand why some people like it, but I know I don't. As simple as that, and I'll tell you this as well. I barely speak about pacing in my reviews, but when I look back and I remember the episode after doing my review, I'm like, that pacing of that episode was terrible. There were so many scenes that dragged on forever with Kwan on the ship. I'm sure you can cut like 5 minutes and still have the same story unfolding and the same understanding. The whole back and forth between Kwan and the former Spartan was pointless because at the end the Spartan changed and say, "Yes, I will go with you for money." Now I know in a lot of shows they picture that as character growth, but I don't think it's character growth in this case. You are just sold. You just want money. This is a terrible character. What they did in the entire episode to him is dirty. They did him dirty. Now, another terrible pacing issue is like all the back and forth with Chief going to the real league and then doing something else and then going back to the real league because one time is not enough. Or sometimes they will capture some military people playing with stuff because I guess they are on break. I don't care about that. I don't care about how they live their everyday life. It's not even the Halo I like. So why should I bother watching them playing with balls? You will laugh here because if you haven't watched, you won't understand. But if you have seen it, you will be like, oh, they are truly playing with balls. There's another scene that could be taken out where we have one of Silver Team female doing some kind of test, I guess. It was pointless. Maybe they shown it to tell, look, she is getting her own Cortana, or I don't know, but I don't think that's the case. They just wanted to show her smart or doing stuff. I don't know. I don't care. I feel like each single week they could trim down the episode to 45-minute-ish. Especially episode 1. It lasted for an hour, and that hour I felt it. Because the back half of the episode was terrible. And I said it in my review. Episode 2 was maybe 50-ish minutes. Boring! I wanted to sleep, but I tried my best to stay awake because I was, first of all, at work when I was watching that. And second, I wanted to do a review, so I needed to stay awake. Two good reasons, right? Episode 3, pacing as bad as 1 and 2. And it's worse because in episode 3, we didn't add any action piece. No action. Well, you will tell me, oh, the ship when she attacked the ship. Not really. When Makee entered the ship with the parasite did all the job and they murdered everyone. And this was pretty short, and this didn't feel like Halo. It felt like Harry Potter or something. I don't know what it was, but it's not my Halo. The military didn't shot any rounds. They didn't use their gun. They didn't have the time to use their gun. And I was turned off by that because UNSC is stupid. Speaking about UNSC, they are the villains in this show because they are the right and leftists hate the right. Right wings are wrong. There are so many issues with this show. The writer don't know how to handle Halo. They don't. Or they don't care. Or they do that in purpose to destroy the franchise. We got so many board meeting here and there. Pointless board meeting. I'm not into it. I'm not interested by it. I don't care about their lore. Their lore is terrible. I feel like this show brings nothing new, nothing appealing, nothing good. I don't care about the story. I watch the show only because I review the show and I want to tear it apart. Now, of course, if episode 4 do a miracle, if episode 4 is impressive, maybe my statement will change and I will do a video about the redemption of the show, but I don't think this will happen. If episode 4, 5, 6 are as bad as 1, 2, 3, I shall do a everything wrong about Halo TV show part 2. But if a miracle happen, if suddenly I like the show, I will say the redemption of the Halo TV show video. Now, if episode 7, 8, 9 are terrible, I will do a part 2 or a part 3 of everything wrong about Halo. The future of my channel covering Halo depends on the people making the show. If I find things I enjoy, I will speak about that. If the show remains the same shitty BS show, then my statement won't change. I will just do a follow-up. Anyway, I hope guys enjoyed. I hope guys understood why I don't like the show. If you disagree with me, well, thank you for the view. Thank you for making it to this point. I thank you. You are a good viewer. So for any people that like this content, just like it. Comment. Let me know your thoughts. Even if you disliked my video, let me know. I'm curious to see what people has to say about my video. So, with that being said, if you enjoy the content, subscribe. We will see each other in a future video and I will be streaming a lot of Halo. Have a great day.